Right. I will start the interview. All right, we are taking a look at Click on Fish, and I am joined by Pomo. And yeah, thank you so much for joining me. You were a member of a small team, right? It was two people that worked on this game?
Yes, it's me and my musician. Much.
Cool. Eduardo?
Yes, he's a very talented musician. I am not worthy of his skills.
Awesome. So you were doing like, everything else other than that? Like, are these fish AI generated?
Yes, the fish area generator. You guessed it. Obviously, you not only that, you guessed the prompt for the green fish. It is Shrek fish.
Oh my
um,
gosh.
but yeah, the fish are AI generated. Generated. I was already like not very excited for this jam. I was like, oh, I have to work Monday. I only have 2 days to do this one. And I'm like, well, if I'm gonna do it, right, it's gonna gotta be something very simple, very easy. I'm like, yeah, I like messing around with like AI. I'm gonna, or like at least like I like to enjoy it on Jitspo stream to just see random AI abominations. So I was like, hey, you know what? I'm gonna get Stable Diffusion. I'm gonna play around with it. It's a good to even learn these days, right? Because you can't. Unfortunately, the results speak for themselves pretty good. Like almost everything in this, all the art is AI generated. The heart on the top left there is AI generated. The fish is AI generated.
Oh my
The
goodness.
UI, yeah, the spear, the mouse cursor, pretty much.
Oh, that's wild.
Yeah,
So um so that leaves the like actual programming and like the high score system.
yeah,
I guess some of that you were able to reuse from previous projects.
yeah. I pretty much start every OD by just copying the previous OD project. So yeah, just copy pasted trash punk and just deleted all the trash and the punk and just fish pretty much. It,
Oh
it
man,
yeah. It saves a lot of time and allows like yeah then I can just focus and polish the main mechanic, which is nice.
I love the idea that somewhere in here there's still like some code from the old game, like the equation. It's trash punk minus trash minus punk plus fish, but in somewhere in here is like a wild spin move that sends all the fish flying around.
I think I have deleted that to be honest, but there's bound to be like something that carried over, yeah, with the mass of the project. The blood, like
Mm.
for the goddamn blood, for example, as you can see, that one is probably from Dutch Punk. Yeah.
Oh, that's funny. All right. So, what was the inspiration behind this game?
Oh man, so like I was like, yeah, I went to this. I was like, yeah, I want to make something simple. I was like, yeah, maybe I'll finally make a fishing game. So I already went to that in mind, and then the team was harvest, and I'm like, yep, I definitely making a fishing game. So I went on a run, just some exercise, and I just put on my headphones and just fucking focus on trying something. Like, okay, how the heck do I design a good a fishing game that's fun? Like, oh, okay, fish. Thinking about the fishing mini games that I'm like, and yeah, the fishing mini games that I like, they're nice because they're not the main thing on the game. So like, I didn't quite come up with something that I like. So like, okay, what if you just click on the dot? God, I got upset that I couldn't figure out the a mini game that I like. Okay, why don't you just click on the goddamn fish? And then it's all downhill from there. It's like, yeah, if you click on the fish and they move around, they try to juke you a little bit. So the original idea was to just have them just be harder to click, right?
Mm.
And just moving around really fast or something. Um, and then I like, oh, okay, what if they like look similar? When I started to play with the AI, I think I got the idea of like, okay, I can make them similar and just try to overwhelm the player eventually. Like there's I used this comparison on my stream when I was developing. I streamed the development of this a little bit.
Mm.
I compared it to the Charlie Chaplin bit of him working on a factory and like the conveyor belt keeps speeding up and speeding up and speeding up and he can't keep up with it. There's also a Drake and Josh one where they're packaging sushi and it keeps speeding up and they lose control and just chaos ensues. So that was definitely like the inspiration for it when I while I was making. I was like, I wanna start this with simple thing, easy task, click on fish, the simplest thing in the world, and I'm just gonna overwhelm everyone and just make them stressed be stressed about it. So yeah, I think I achieved that. Quite nice.
Yeah, I'd say so. I mean, it's like thankfully, like someone before the interview started suggested, like, what if the fish were randomly generated every time you play? I think that would be like really overwhelming. But this, because the fish are the same each time, you can build up your familiarity.
I thought about that. I'm gonna be fair. I'm only thought about it after the gem was over, but I still don't think I would have made it this time around. As you said, like I like the because I like the idea that this version of it is like accessible to a lot of people. Because my games are usually like they're hard, they're stressful, they're hardcore. But this one, everyone's gonna get stressed at their own pace, and I kind of like that about it. I feel like if I had random out the fish each time and force people to learn it. I think for that to work, it would require a lot more fish, right? For keeping the parodies, them similar to each other, maybe like 3 or 4 similar ones. I think would be better for that. So you have to actually learn it on the fly instead of just switching your brain. Okay, this one is bad now and this one is good now. But yeah, it could be maybe on click or fish too. I think that would be cool.
Oh my gosh! So how do people get such high numbers in this game? Because I think
Oh,
85
people,
seems.
yeah, yeah, people are just very good at clicking on fish. As
Holy
usual,
cow!
people are very good at my goddamn games. I think my best score when I was like, okay, initial dev score was like 138, and then Meep got like 160, and then I got 168, and then Meep got 199. It just keeps going because like we like to pass each other. I do host a tournament, the Ludendare Score Chasers, which is a tournament that we compete to get high scores on Ludendare games. So yeah, we tend to be very good at this type of stuff. So yeah, we're very competitive. That's the biggest reason. We're just pretty good and try to beat each other all the time. But
Nice.
199 is still very insane. I agree.
Yeah, I mean it's like over double my score, which is crazy to me. That like I guess the one thing that would be kind of cool is if you had a better sense when a fish was about to leave the screen for good, so you could prioritize better.
Yeah, that's one thing that I kind of struggled. Um, but that gives away that the fish is bad, right? That's also uh
Oh wait, did good fish stay on the screen?
every fish. So the fish they come and they stay a little bit and they leave.
Right.
So if you lose a life if the bad fish leave,
Yes.
yes, or if you click a good fish. So I
Yeah.
don't know, like yeah, but like that would be like I want it to be like when I play this as well. I get paranoid when I get to like the hundreds and stuff. Like oh, I'm starting to get paranoid. I missed the fish. I know there's a bad one, and I start to get paranoid, and I love that feeling. That's like what I'm trying to convey. So like I want like even if you didn't have a fish on screen, I want you to think that you do. So I feel like having something that tells you, hey, you're about to miss one, tells you that you have one on screen. So I don't know.
No, no, I didn't mean that you're about to miss one. I mean that each fish has its own indicator of when it's about to leave. So you still don't know whether it's good or bad. You just know
I
it's about to
see.
leave.
Yeah, that's they try to be a little fair about it. Like they all like they try to stay like the same amount of time roughly. Um, but yeah, like I'm still not sure about it. Like because then like it would bring attention to a fish, right? And I don't I think that's what I like is that like you don't know which fish are like they stay the same amount of time, so it's kind of fair. But if I bring attention to a fish in some way, like maybe the shine or jump or something, then you would look immediately at that fish, like you would prioritize it. I think that would remove the stress element a little bit. Um,
Yeah, and I know what you mean. Like it's almost it's better this way that you like it is the player's responsibility to be scanning the whole
yes.
screen and trying to like I think most people get overwhelmed when trying to track more than like 4 or 5 different moving objects.
Yeah, no,
So
this is way more than that for sure. Um, what was I? I was gonna say something, kind of forgot. Oh yeah, I also struggle. Like, it feels kind of bad when you miss a fish, because like, oh, because you obviously didn't notice the fish, so like you don't know why you lost a life. I don't know. That one was a problem I struggled to find. I thought maybe at the end of the game I could just show you the fish that you missed at least. Yeah, didn't think of that. Didn't have time for it anyway. So at least like a list. Oh, you missed this type of fish this amount of times. Maybe that would help.
well, I think that like the if you really wanted to have a feature like that, I think it's better to show it as it happens. So, and you could even treat it as a small like invincibility period. So by that I mean like when a bad fish leaves the screen, you just like zoom the camera in on it and be like, this fish got away. But then the player has that a moment to catch themselves and be like, oh darn, I missed it. and then the game resumes.
I thought about it, but then then he gives the player a moment to breathe. You know, you
You
don't
don't
want
want
that.
that. No
You don't
breathing.
want that. Yeah, like as I said, like the Charlie Chaplin and the Drake Josh bit, like you just panic, and it just keeps killing up and it keeps killing up and it just keeps overwhelming you. But I didn't want to give you like a single moment to catch your breath. So like I don't know. It's a very hard like balance thing. But I think I compromised on the thing that I wasn't prioritizing, so I'm kind of happy with that, I
Oh
guess.
yeah, like I understand that it totally works
Hmm.
like as it is right now. I was just thinking like if you were to do it, maybe you could do it this
Yeah,
way.
yeah, that's a good one. Like a little zoom in, the camera panning out. But to be honest with you, I did not want to touch this camera at all, mostly because of the water shader below. This if you like someone was playing this on a widescreen monitor and they screen the pasted a screenshot of the goddamn shader on my page and it's like yikes. Because yeah, no, this shader was made by me with a tutorial with the last like 30 minutes I had, so it's very barely works.
Well,
Mm.
I mean, it gets the idea across,
It gets the idea across. Yeah.
all right. So, what would you say was the most difficult problem you faced during the
Hmm.
development of this game, and how did you solve it?
Let's see. The water shader was just a tutorial. It wasn't that bad. I think the most problematic thing that I kind of roughly encountered was like the fish movement,
Hmm.
because it was like as the original idea was like, and it was this idea until like halfway across Sunday when I started making it. It was like, okay, I'm gonna have like different fish. So the fish is gonna come and it's gonna come around, or it's gonna go diagonal, it's gonna circle around. Like, okay, then I gotta code like seven different fish movement thingies and whatnot,
Oh yeah.
and I'm like, oh shit, yeah, not at my time, rip. And also like I also learned how to pretty much generate and cut like sprite cut to make it transparent and workable in Unity like as we went. So like that was a fun learning experience for the AI and GIMP and art and stuff. Oh, and the goddamn colliders. Oh, I'll remember. I'll get to the colliders in a bit. Oh, thank God I remember that. Okay, so fish behavior. So I found this idea of like, I made a game with Brainoid for Honest Jam, and we made like this very complex spaceship exploration space game and whatnot. And but it was top down 2D, and it had like a rotation movement thingy that I spent like fucking 2 days figuring out. I'm like, oh, copy paste that real quick. So yeah, it's just the fish just they have like some waypoints, and they just try to visit a certain amount of waypoints at a certain distance, and then they just go back to like outside on like a spawning point and whatnot. So yeah, and it turned out very fish-like, you know, in a way, in a little bit with the way they rotate. Yeah, I thought it was nice. It ended up quite like when I saw the result, like yeah, this is it. Every fish is just gonna do this. Let's focus on everything else. And oh god, the colliders. Okay. For you to detect a click on something, you got either for you to detect on something. Problem is, the fishes come in all shapes and sizes, and they overlap each other like a lot. So the colliders need to be precise. So okay. Unity 2D polygon collider, perfectly sprite aligned. Okay, let's run the game, and the game is running at 3 FPS. Oh, you already beat my score. 126 is very good. Wow, I'm not even. And you're like also like interviewing me and stuff. Crap.
The funny thing is, it's like different parts of my brain, right? Like it's one is the visual, like any game that requires language processing or critical like puzzling, like that's what I can't do. But this is just spot the difference. This just comes down to how good is my memory for like recognizing which is or isn't right. But yeah, sorry, I didn't want to interrupt.
No, no, I interrupted myself actually with Discord. That's great. But yeah, and like okay, so the game with the complex colliders that like align everything, the game doesn't run. It runs at 3 FPS. So I painstakingly spent like half of my Sunday aligning a bunch of circle colliders on every single goddamn fish. Like it was stupid thing ever. Like there's some things that are like not frame like extremely precise and perfect right now, but they're not that bad. They're not that. Yeah, that was a annoying thing of it, I'd say.
So originally they were mesh colliders,
They were yeah, a 2D version of a mesh collider usually.
right? Right,
Yeah,
and
it's a
then
polygon collider. Yeah.
yeah. So the it was, yeah, because of course like circle colliders are actually the cheapest. Like I think a lot of people have the misconception that square colliders are the
Yes,
cheapest,
I
but
had it. I had it until I learned it. Yeah, circle colliders it's circle, then capsule, then square. They're the most expensive ones, and then
yeah,
everything else.
yeah. I think that you know, just to explain that to anyone who might be tuning in, but if you think about it, if you're just trying to detect whether a point is in a circle, all you have to do is measure
The
the,
distance.
yeah, the distance to it from the center point, and then find out if it's within the radius. If you're trying to measure if something is a square, you have to do a check whether it's greater than its left bound, greater than its top bound, less than its right bound, and less than its lower bound. And then, God forbid, if the square is rotated at all, then you have to do much more complex math than even that.
Yeah,
So yeah, circles are the cheapest collider. Even if you have to stack a whole bunch of circles, it's going to be cheaper.
significantly cheaper. I think
Yeah,
we were running the tests. I think we got it to like try. We were testing out the different ones that we could have used on stream to see what we were gonna do to solve this thing. With the polygon collider, it was like 100 fish was running at like 10 FPS or something. It was like very bad. With like only circle colliders, just a bunch of them, we were getting like like what was it? It's like I think we got 10,000 fish at 30 FPS. So like significantly running way better.
so what's the upper bound on the number of fish that you expect to be on the screen at any one
That
time?
is a good question. I did not remember. So the difficulty scales. I think there is like there's two kind of like 2 points of that it goes towards. I think at 2.5 minutes it's like 20 fish tops, but then it starts to go ramping up way faster. And I think the upper bound might be 40 fish at the moment. So yeah, Meep somehow got 200 points at 40 fucking fish.
Gosh, that's wild. Yeah, I think at a certain point, it just, even if I recognize which fish are bad, I'll just be overwhelmed by the number of fish
Fish,
on screen at any
yes,
given time.
yes,
And then, as you say, like sometimes they overlap and you have to be careful of like, is that actually a bad one? I can't like, because there, when I look at any given fish, there's like one distinguishing feature that I'm using to tell them apart. It's usually the eyes, like the sort of face of the fish. So if I just see two pink fish side by side, I can't tell whether they're actually bad unless I can see the eye. Like this fish swims behind the other fish that I can't see its eye,
that
and then
that is a reason why I made sure that fish have multiple things you can use to
yes,
discern. I think that's nice. Like if you even if like the eye, I for sure like the white fish, I always look on the eye. That's also like something. Yeah, so if the eye is hidden, I see that point. Like you have like the back fin, you have like the top things. Like there you have like slight difference that you can look. I made when I was picking out which ones was gonna be like, okay, they have enough. They're very similar, of course, but they have enough like that you pay attention. You can tell them apart.
yeah, I think that like I do appreciate that. Like the skullfish in particular are very hard to tell apart, but it was sort of like my brain optimization to pick which feature I was going to pay attention to. If I
Yeah.
paid attention to all the features, if I like really spent my time in the tutorial, then I feel like I could get a better score over time. But another just like thing I was doing early on was trying to keep track of the fish as they were entering the screen. At this point, that's out the window because I'm just sort of playing catch up to try and keep an eye on all the
The
fish on the screen.
the fun thing about this skullfish is that like I meant for them to be like the harder fish kind of, and like pommel fish is just a nice surprise. But like the harder one is the skullfish,
Yeah.
but until like late Sunday, they the fucking good fish had the is good because like I have a little bowl like a boolean to just say, oh, is this fish good or is this fish bad.
Mhm.
The good fish was counting as a bad fish, and I was
Uh,
letting it get away because I misclicked the thing. And like for like half a day, I was like, damn, maybe I made the skullfish too hard if I can't detect it.
oh my goodness.
So
Oh,
that
that's
was
funny.
hell. Did you notice there's voice
Whoops.
lines, by the way? I'm not
Yes, I did.
sure.
I did.
Okay.
I have it turned way down now at this
Yeah,
point,
no, that's
but
fine.
we're reaching the cascade, the point where everything it all goes wrong. So
100
what
fish is
happens if you
pretty
click
hard.
on like two fish and one of them's bad, and one of them's good?
It should only count the fish on top. So they are
Okay, so it's always the top, the
yeah,
collider.
they each have layers. I made sure like they each have their own layer. So because like before they were on layer 0, they were clipping all over the place with each other. Like it was bad. So like they all have sequential layers. So yeah, it should always be the fish on top.
Hmm. Oh my goodness. um, Matan Call. I mean, a score of 77 is very good. I guess.
7 is pretty good. Yeah.
Uh, yeah, some people are just born to click fish. Yeah, I think that the more you're able to internalize the various differences of each fish, like it gives you that edge because you can see a like partial match and then have the opportunity to click it. Um, anyway, like if it's a concept that's really simple fundamentally, and you can spend a lot of time like practicing, getting better and better at it. I doubt I'm going to beat 126, but you know.
Oh, you got yeah. It might be hard. No, no. If we let you focus on one final round, maybe you'll get it. But yeah, it's definitely very hard.
um, all right. So, can you talk a little bit more about the development process of the game?
Uh, tu- tu- tu. Yeah, like okay. So one thing that was kind of silly is that I wanted to do a compo. So like compo, you can only do things by yourself, right? Because like
Right.
I only have 2 days anyway. Might as well try it. And then like I was on Jispo stream on like Saturday morning. I don't even remember. And it's like, oh, you can't use AI art for compo. I'm like, oh.
Never mind.
Never mind. But then like it was like late Saturday. I'm like, hey, amazing talented musician friend that I have. Do you want to make another music for me? Sorry, I didn't tell you earlier. It was not on my plans to even tell you at all. Um. So yeah, and then he was like he came back tired. He came back from a trip. And then he just goes and makes this like goddamn amazing soundtrack, which is like I love it. It might be my favorite sound music he's made for me. Like he made it for the Carpe Diem one, which is just like very long rock song, which is also great. But I love the goofiness and fun of this one so much. Really turned out okay. Even like on the rush conditions that he had. Then let's see development process. Then yeah, we went on a run. Found out. We first thing I did was just, as I said, like my motivation for this was just to play with the AI. So I just like put it up stable diffusion, just play with fish. Oh, you have no idea the horrors that will haunt your nightmare forever when you type stuff like Shrek fish into stable diffusion. You think these ones are abominations. You have no idea the things me and my chat had to witness so that you could have some slightly weirder fish. Oh, I still remember the googly eye fish that we tried to make. That did not have googly eyes at all. I'll tell you that much. Oh god. Um, but yeah, and the red one is demon fish as well that we tried, but thankfully it wasn't that bad. But yeah, some fun. We had fun generating the AI. Yeah, not much about the process that I haven't talked already. Leaderboard is always it's always silly to do. Ugh, and I need to make my own leaderboard using Google Sheets one of these days that I can just reuse instead of using these third-party leaderboards. They're just annoying. Ugh. But yeah.
How would you use Google Sheets for that?
Unity has. I actually use it for my real Unity job. You can write and read from Google Sheets with Unity and Unity games. So you can just write the score and the name on the sheet and just read it back to the players. Like it's super chill. So I want to try and make that one day. It's not really not that bad. There's also like some assets that even do it for you, but you can do it yourself. It's probably not that bad. Just gotta set it up. You just gotta sit down and do it, which is like the hard part.
Right. Yeah, I mean that's pretty cool though. Like I wouldn't have expected that like the I guess you're just talking directly to the Google Sheets API.
Yeah, you just go, hey, what like give me all of this. Hey, write this line with this person name. Or if you don't want like to repeat the name, you can just maybe check. Hey, do we have this name? You know, it's super. It should like in theory it should be extremely easy, right? That's what I'm saying. In theory, I haven't made the damn thing, but in practice, who
Uh-huh.
knows? But yeah, in theory, it sounds Sounds pretty easy. It does take a little bit to update, like on my job when we use it, because we use it mostly as database stuff. We don't use it like
Mhm.
on runtime. Um, but it should be alright if you're not like updating a bunch of things that we do on my job. But yeah, so just the leaderboard thing should be fine.
Yeah, I mean, like, how quickly are you expecting it to update anyway?
Yeah, like even this one takes like what, a second, right? It still bugs out a little bit.
That's fine.
It's fine. Most Snail Staring terrified of clicking overlapping fish. Yeah, I am too. And honestly, I believe it's the colliders thing. Because as I said, they're not pixel perfect colliders as I want them to be. So like sometimes it can be a little wonky, and you just don't feel like trusting that. I understand it. But
Yeah, if
for
there
a
was, you'd have to like work really hard to try to make it forgiving. Like, it's one of those things that's not fundamentally hard to get set up approximately the way you want it to behave, but to like really 100% make it so that like, oh, it's never, you're never going to make a mistake. You're never going to misclick on a fish. That would take like way more effort than it's worth.
yeah. Oh, look at that, Mister. I'm never gonna beat 128.
Okay, well,
Oh my God, the top 10 is 152, dude. What have you guys done?
that's a
Oh
huge
my
threshold to
God. Oh yeah, I
cross.
must like speaking of that. This right now, I'm gonna brag, slight brag with slight celebration. Click on Fish is the fourth most rated game this student there, and that's fucking insane to me. Like, thank you everyone who's clicked on Fish. And like my goal of making this more accessible and everyone gets to play at their own pace, like definitely paid off. I think in that aspect, and it's showing for that. So yeah, thank you everyone who has clicked on Fish. Very makes me brings a tear to my eye. It truly does.
Well, I think it's a fantastic example of something simple, well executed, and that it's got competitive online leaderboard. Like it's got people talking about it, got people sharing it. Maybe.
Maybe, yeah, like it's something very like I feel like the same way that I was imagining. Oh, I definitely want to see people getting overwhelmed and stressed. They want to see their friends getting overwhelmed and stressed. So that might be it too. So yeah, but thank you for the comments as well. But yeah,
Yeah,
um,
congratulations.
thank you.
But yeah, I think it really goes to show simple concept executed well, you go a long way.
Yep, definitely
And
that.
yeah, all right. Well, do you have any plans for a post-gen version of this?
I might. I might. Most like the only thing that's really pushing me to maybe make this game out. I'll maybe might make an Android version just to help my musician, just so he can have something that's actually like really nice, like a portfolio. I don't know this music. I love this music quite a lot. Oh, see, time, time is always the problem. Like major updates on this. I don't think so. Like as we said, like we have like some cool like the randomly generated each time, but that would for sure just be on like a click on fish too. Mostly because I don't want to spend like, oh my God, dude, you have no idea. I remember I went to Jitspo stream after I was done on Saturday, and I was like, I never want to look at the fish or a circle collider ever again because it's setting up what 8, 16 fishes with circle colliders took like 4 hours or something. I don't even remember. It was just so boring. Oh. Yeah, so just that alone is just not wanting, making me not want to work on this version specifically anymore. Got to figure out a better way to set those colliders up for sure.
Yeah, I can understand just like wanting to be done with it, not have to come back. But if there were any, like, if you were to make a click the fish version 2, like, are there any other features or anything else you'd like to include?
That's it. The randomness that we mentioned before. I think for sure. At least like it's got to be on a mode, right? That you learn like it randoms out which fish is good and bad every time. But like I think for that to be truly good, it cannot only be 2 fish. I think that's not good enough. So we would need to like generate a bunch more fish. I think at least 4, maybe 5 per types of fish, and we'll pick from that those pools which ones are good and bad on that instance, and then just keep overwhelming the player even more. I thought about like something, because like there was some games last OD. I think Milky made that game. Is the click on the the number one button clicker, which you had to play a meteor game, like just yeah, you shoot the meteors fly around and you dodge it while you click the button on a computer screen, because that was your job. So you multitask it, but you click the button and you do something. So like I think I kind of want like you click on fish, but you also have something else to manage. I'm not quite
Oh,
sure what,
jeez.
yeah, what that would be yet. And then maybe levels with that. But yeah, yeah, that's kind of it. But it would have to be like something very simple that you manage. So maybe just a bar or a button you click. Um, but yeah, not quite sure what that would be yet. But that was the idea I had for like maybe a sequel. Maybe on another LD.
Yeah, I mean, that's the fun thing about these game jams. They're great opportunities for exploring those kinds of ideas.
We might even take like different different approach. Maybe click on bird. I don't know.
The sequel everyone was waiting for.
Someone made a comment. I thought it was quite funny. On my page, they said like, "Oh, this would be incredibly racist if this was with humans instead of fish." And I'm like, "Oh, that sounds kind of fun, actually."
Oops.
Not the racism part, of course, but it sounds it sounds kind of fun to make people feel bad about it in that way, you know.
Yeah, chat. No one clip that and take that quote out of context.
Please don't take that out of context. Yeah. Oh God, Jared. Please tell me Jared is not here. I've done. There's a friend of mine, Kosowski. The biggest clip on his channel is an out of context clip that I got from him, just saying his niece has a great ass, and he's like, hey, she has a great ass Godfather, but I like took out the Godfather part. And it's just like 200 views by now. He hates me for it. Thank God he's not
Why
here
would you do that?
to
It's so
avenge me.
terrible.
Oh, it was hilarious, Trey. It's worth it. I could
Oh my
not.
god.
A glimpse inside of Pomo's mind. Yes.
All right. Well, I think we're going to start ramping things down here. So if anyone has any questions they want to ask, now's the time to do it. But otherwise, I would, if you have any social media channels or any other projects that you'd like to plug, now is the time to do it.
Well, I'm working on a game called Little Sim World as my actual job. You can Google that if you would like some. I don't have any much links. We have a Steam page up, a Patreon, stuff like that. And besides that, I also stream on Twitch. I said yesterday might have been my last stream, but then I realized today, wait, I have nothing better to do, so might stream some more games today. So yeah, we'll see what we play today. Yeah, just working on Ludenders. That's not
This
nothing
one,
much.
right? Little Sim
What?
Worlds?
Yes, yeah, that one. Yeah,
Yeah.
just a cute little game.
Just want to make sure I'm dropping the right links in chat
Yeah,
for
no,
it.
thank you for the links. Appreciate it.
All
And yeah,
right.
click on fish if you haven't already. It's fun. It's not stressful at all. I promise.
Okay, well, I mean, I'll open up the submissions for anyone who is watching who would like to get their game played on the stream. But maybe until we get somebody who's ready, I will give this one more try with 100% focus and see if I can beat 135.
Oh, I'm muting myself. There you go. Good Godspeed.
All right, Arthur, thank you so much for joining me on the stream. It's been a lot of fun as always, and yeah, looking forward to seeing whatever the next jam project is.
Thank you so much. Also, have you made a game this gen?
Not this jam. I think
Oh,
that I'm hopeful for the jam that it's at the end of April, but this one I was just coming back from
yeah,
a
yeah.
some time away, so
For sure, everyone was just like, "Oh, are we doing this jam? Oh, we're all so tired." I was so tired. Like as I said, the only motivation I found was I get to mess around with the AI. So that I used that and I went with it. But yeah, no worries about it. All right, thank you for having me. Great time.
absolutely. All right.